Hello friends and welcome to the channel. Today's a special video. It will be my first challenge with other crafters. Me and Claret Creations started up a Halloween Trash Bash challenge a few weeks ago. The only rules being it was due October 31st for the spooky time, and then there had to be at least a pumpkin incorporated into the piece. No other rules, so I'm very excited to see what fellow crafters' brains inspired them to create. There will be links to all their channels down in the description if you'd like to see what the other talented artists did for this challenge. So, while I was trying to think up exactly what I wanted to make for this challenge, my beautiful wife kept giving me wonderful ideas on top of all my ideas. This turned into a wild project. To start off, I wanted the main bit of the show to be a giant pumpkin house. I was just going to buy a big plastic pumpkin and cut it in half to make myself a giant Polly Pocket. But I didn't think that would be in the spirit of Trash Bash Challenge, so we're going with an old construction paper mache. We have a pumpkin drink dispenser, and I thought this would be an awesome base. I got it all lubed up with Vaseline to help the glue not stick. Little did I know, this would not help at all. After lubing it all up, we mixed up some water and PVA glue and cut them into strips of construction paper, and just went to town plastering them all over the base. cut it out of the video, but the Vaseline did nothing to help it not stick. It took me quite some time removing it all, and it had to come off in more pieces than I would have liked, but we got there eventually. After removing it, we cleaned it up with some nice sharp scissors, and then we started the process of gluing it all back together. Now, to get it all back together, we're going to use a 50-50 mix of Mod Podge and black acrylic paint. I learned this trick from Black Magic Crafts years ago, and I've never looked back. I was going to have it open up from the side, but it wasn't strong enough on its own to stand straight up and continue to maintain the consistency between the two pieces. So to hold it together, I taped up the back or the inside and applied a few layers of Black Magic. Now we're going to make a nice little cute base to hide all of our inner workings. I plan on putting inside of this bad boy. I was trying to carve a little circle out of the middle of the foam until I realized I have a Proxon wire cutter. One smack to the forehead later, and boom, we're done cutting out a little slice of the world. Cutting out some foam board for the flooring and got some generic craft sticks. We're going to cut those all into uneven strips, and then we're going to lay them down with a layer of PVA glue and then put a layer of PVA glue over top of them so they hopefully don't move and make a solid base for everything I want to put on it. Now we have to make room for some real fun in the undercarriage. I need some long holes through the center, so for later, I heated up a very long screwdriver and dug it in through the foam in 6 places. Going a little too deep a few times, but that's okay, we'll cover it up later. After we got all of our holes dug out, we're going to put a thick layer of brown paint down and hit it with some grass flocking before it dries to really give us that dirt and grass look. Back over at the pumpkin house, I finally got it all together and painted orange. It's time for the real fun bits. We take some more craft sticks and a trading card plastic sleeve and cut all those up to make some makeshift windows and doors. I really wanted them to look very haphazard, so I cut them kind of crooked and at different angles. Now that we got the doors and windows ready to go, I cut out some 100% accurate holes to fit our creations, and one hole at the top for a stem made into a chimney, a stemney if you will. Felt like it was looking kind of plain, so I gave it the old Borderlands cell shade look to add some details without needing to carve it. We got some air dry clay for our stemney and then used it to make some vines to wrap around all of our pumpkin, adding a lot of neat little details. After letting that dry forever, we go ahead and grab us some Army Painter Speed Paint and paint this up to look more like a pumpkin, adding some orc skin green to the vines and around the windows, and a nice brown for the top of our stemney. Back at the base, we clear out the holes from earlier and put some fish tank tubing through it for later. I grabbed some slate rocks and cleared out some little spots out of the foam so we can sink them in. And then we put some PVA glue and flocking over them to make them look like they've been there for a very long time. Since I was going to be busting out the flocking anyways, I went ahead and covered the ground with little spiral vines and made a PVA glue, and I hit those with the flocking to give us some nice little details. Okay, now for a whole bunch of little details. I trimmed up and painted the floorboard. We're going for that old pumpkin stem wood look. I got a bunch of free Harry Potter cauldron / potion sets from displays that they were going to be thrown away up at the local retail store. And that's what we're going to be using to make a lot of our decorations. I wanted to make sure when you look through the little windows of our house, you could see the little things here and there lit up. So I have a battery pack operated lights I got on sale many Christmases ago and have been sitting in my attic. And we're going to drill some holes and put as many of these lights as we can in here. First, we drill out the bottom of our beaker bottle with mysterious green liquids and put in some lights that were hiding under the floorboards, like any good horror. Then we're going to get some random wood pieces and made those into little shelves and tables to put our gruesome work on. While we're here, we put the lights up through the table leg and into a beaded top with hot glue and painted red to make a little candle. Adding a nice little toolbox for his robot pumpkins and a zombie mouse corpse on the table, we move on to the cauldron. We drilled a big hole into the bottom of it and stuffed as many lights as we could fit in there. Adding some hot glue and some green paint gives us that bubbling concoction look. We love the details here. Even if you probably won't see them, I like to add a bunch of bottles and candles, so some shelves are tucked away on the inside for those who feel like looking. Now to get to work on making the rest of our pumpkins for our pumpkin patch. These are acorns I found in my local park and painted them up. I think they really give the old pumpkin vibe after they've been painted. The two little pumpkins you've seen in the front yard were 3D printed pumpkin sculpts. I will leave a link in the description. They were a pain to print and paint. I had to scrape out the paint out of the middle of them just to get them to move around. So if you download those, I would recommend you print them in the color of resin that you wish them to be. Now for the final touches, we hook up our fog machine, which is hidden in the floor, hooked to the tubing that we were running underground, and we started it with a remote so the fog rolls out under the pumpkins and without me touching it. My wife thought it would be awesome if we would hit the pumpkin with some black lights and that they would have faces on them. So we got our clear black light paint and gave them all little faces. here's our final product. We got a mad scientist rat that works with spores to resurrect his fellow mice into zombie mice, and an expert tinkerer making an old pumpkin into automatons. Added lights, smoke, and blacklight effects because I'm extra. Thank you all for coming with me on this adventure. I hope you had a good time watching me create this little pumpkin house of horrors, and that maybe I inspired you to make some of your own. If you enjoyed or learned anything from this video, please leave a like. I'm just getting started on my YouTube journey, so please leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the video. Please check out all of my friends and their Halloween trash batch projects. I will be uploading new D&D content at least once a week, and if you're interested and want to see more, please like, subscribe, comment, and create.